All right, moving on to content. Rand Fishkin was the founder of Moz, which is historically has been one of the top resources for SEOs to go and learn and educate themselves. And they have been historically the thought leaders in the SEO industry. And Rand founded that company, and they are very, I use a lot of their content and review their site very regularly because I learn a lot of great things. Now, they're not my only source, but they're one of my key sources. So anyways, there are 10 things that he published several years ago that he thought were really important. And I've highlighted a couple here. Long form articles, we've talked a little bit about that. We haven't talked about complex data in a visual form, and we're going to be talking a little bit about video some more. But what types of content can you place on your site that will differentiate you from your competition? Or how do you leverage that content more effectively on your site? So a lot of us have videos and we post them up on YouTube, but we forget to embed them into our own site and provide context for that video on our own site. So that's one particular example that you can actually build pages around your video content on your own site. Still host them on YouTube, but bring those videos to your site so people don't engage and leave and just go to YouTube to watch those videos. Infographics. So I was reading up on this right now with the mobile first mindset. Video is really important. Video is very consumable on a mobile device, but infographics are really consumable on a mobile device as well. And even though they're images, they communicate information really quickly. And so that's type of content that we can wrap some structured data around to describe what this image is talking about behind the scenes. That's indexable, right? But to the consumer, it also gives them a quick way to go through and look, oh, that is great information and useful to know as I'm considering buying a home that's eco-friendly. And that's the type of image I got here. Long form content, you're going to start to see that there is some debate about how long form content is going to play out in a mobile first world. Historically, you'll see that the rankings are higher on long form content for pages that have a lot of content on it versus pages that have just a minimal amount of content. That may change over time. But here you can see an example. Chart for word count and rank. So the highest ranked pages have the highest amount of words on their page. And you can see this in a couple of different graphs. Again, coming back from some stuff from Moz. But look at that, over 2,000 words. That's a lot of content to be writing. Typically, you'd see that sort of thing maybe in a white paper or a really long blog post. Let me jump back to that for a second. So, but again, there's some evidence that may say long form content may be too much to consume on the small screen, and maybe something that we have to rethink or put into bite-sized chunks. Another thing from Rand Fishkin about the types of content and that you can have and what you need to focus on. He did this, I believe, about 5 years ago, and it's still really relevant today. You want your content to be uniquely valuable to the people who are coming to the site. What is it that makes you different? You want to make sure that you're focusing on keyword targeting. I told you we wouldn't talk a lot about it, so that's all I'm going to say is really need to do a lot of great keyword and focus on long tail. Make sure that your metadata and your schema data is generating rich snippets. And make sure that all that content's filled in and it's not duplicate content, because that's one of the first places that the search engines crawl and can have a significant impact. And then make sure that your social media pages have sharing value. It's a popularity contest, so the more you can get people to engage in social media, the more popular you are, that gets passed on to your brand. So long form content example, this company called King Arthur Flour. They are probably one of the best companies I've seen over the years that do this. They happen to sell baking products, baking supplies and products, and they integrate their blog with their products to create a selling experience. But they write a ton of content. And so it's a great site to go look at and see how they're integrating their content and using keywords to target specific things and drive traffic back into their site. Oops, hang on one sec. Video. So there's a little video here. I won't play it because we always seem to struggle to get them to play correctly on a webinar format. But you can use metadata to describe that content. So you can caption, you can use alt tags, you can use H tags, and some of this is a little bit technical and behind the scenes, and you may need your developers to help your SEO team get this content on your site accessible to your CMS so you can optimize your video content. And again, implement some structured data to provide more context around the video. Again, that all that content is indexable, and that will help improve your rankings.